I'd just like to enter into the official record that odd numbers are round. It's a Talltale Tavern Triple Threat D20 talk show. Kyle, roll a D100. It's the T show. Hurry up, Kyle, and roll. The T.
Oh, that's weird.
Show.
I just rolled infinity on the ball.
Kyle, that's crazy.
D100.
I'm just looking at my question sheet here, and somebody appears to have hacked it. Perhaps this is the work of the April Fool. And I've just got an infinite list of the same question here. It says, talk about Gen Con, and there's a modifier that says, for the time, talk for as long as you want and then end the episode. So
What?
I guess we have to do that.
All right.
That's what the sheet says. Then we have no choice. So welcome to the show, everybody. We're going to do it.
Welcome to our...
And that time starts now.
Great. Welcome to our Gen Con, post-Gen Con show, Triple Threat. Mm-hmm. That is still the Triple Threat, obviously.
It is.
100% still the
second threat is me threatening to lose my mind trying to get this cord to unwrap from this fucking guitar strap.
And the third threat is me losing my mind that you think that odd numbers are round, even numbers are round, and that's just how it is. That makes no sense to me. I can't even fathom. We had hours worth of discussion on this at Gen Con. This is the most important thing.
The most contentious debate of our relationship. I don't know.
Yes. This is the most important thing that happened at Gen Con. Even numbers and odd numbers, which ones are round and which ones are square, just in your mind. And even numbers are
I would like to just
round.
add, it's not square, it's pointy. Which ones are round and which ones are pointy is the discussion we really were having.
In no world is a 2 pointy to me. A 4 was not pointy. There's a round.
4 is very pointy. That's crazy to me that you don't see that. I can give you 2 not being that pointy, but I think 4 is pretty pointy.
Do you think a 6 is pointy? I don't know.
No, I don't think. Now, the thing is, I don't think 6 is pointy, but I do think 16 is. And I can't explain that any further than what just came out of my mouth. But that's just it. I will give you this. I ran into.
One is the ultimate pointy, and it's the odd number. So there it is.
I don't know about that. I ran into John Thayer, our buddy, though, today, out in the street. And I did ask him this question. And he did say that he thinks even numbers are the round ones and odd numbers are the pointy ones. So you
said
what you want.
He was with me.
He's on your side.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say he was on your side. No. Then I was really sad to have lost another friend.
You have not. You can hold on to John a little bit longer.
Okay, great.
Don't worry. I was sad. I immediately shoved him down into the street and ran away. So, John, if you ever sign up for this Patreon, or is this a free one? It's late, but it's free.
Oh, it's late, but it's free.
It's late, but it's free, so you can't complain. Like a dessert that arrives at your table that was comped a little too late. Kind of like something that happened to me at Gen Con at one point. But maybe we'll talk about that when we get into our recap. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Transitioning back in. Transitioning back
Gen
in,
Con,
Kyle.
The weekend. A lot of cool things happened. A lot of fun things happened. I figured we could start with the big thing that we did as the Talltale Tavern thing that we did for the weekend, which was our Talltale Tavern one-shot. And that was the players all gathered and fought big old Cthulhu. And he's actually in the background of my video, if you can see him.
I mean, he's kind of like a shadow of himself. He's a little hard to see. Here's
what they first saw. When the venture first started, it was 20 players, 24 people total, because there was 4 DMs.
4 DMs, 5 players at a table. That adds up to me. I mean, 6 players, 6 people at a table times 4. There we go.
We all stood around a table, and everybody was in water deep, and this creature rose out of the water, and I brought out this mini, and it is the head of some creature, which I've said is Cthulhu. Yeah. And this is all they saw at first, was this coming out of the water, kind of going toward like a big kaiju coming toward Waterdeep, and this golden light shone in the air, this hopeful light as everybody was fleeing Waterdeep that showed the symbols of 4 guilds. And then everybody broke up to their tables, and all the players were members of different guilds. We had the Thieves Guild, the Emerald Enclave, the Champions Guild, and
I was in the New Olam Bard College was the other group. That's where I was.
Yes. Something very fun about the intro is we've done 2 like in-person. I guess technically we've done 3
if you count the wrestling.
If you count the wrestling live show that we did. This is technically the 3rd live.
The 3rd
game.
Extremely exclusive Talltale Tavern one-shot that will never be available to the public, I guess. They exist as legend only.
But we still do start it with the tavern intro as usual, and then we have a story keeper, and it was very fun because our story keeper the storyteller for this adventure was Mtiro himself, and so I got to
Mr. Mtiro
open the door, and you got to come in through the door and start telling the story,
which I think it worked out really well that way because I feel like I wanted to play Mtiro out of pure laziness. And then you were like, that's great. He can be the storyteller. And I was like, great. Now it looks like I'm not just doing this out of like pure laziness or whatever. It's like it's part of the thing. So that was nice for me to latch onto.
And it was also really nice because then you had the opportunity to through the storytelling aspect of it, and being a story keeper, having spectral golden pages that sort of they were kind of taking you around to different parts of the story. So you were able to kind of make a little cameo at each table.
Yeah. We set it up so that I stayed like an hour at my first table. And then just what I did was once I left one table, I rolled a D4 to just decide which other table I would drop in on, basically, of the remaining 3, and then I rationalized it in my head as like the whole reason Mtiro was coming to the Bard College to begin with was because because we needed to D-level, which was also part of it. So for me, anytime we have to make any change to the character sheet, I like to try to figure out how that works into like a story reason. So I wanted to have the Paladin levels because those are important since Expedition Untold ended, that he got 3 levels of Oath of the Story Keeper Paladin. And Mtiro was already like level 11 before he got those.
You would have been coming in as a level 14.
And this was a level 8 one-shot. So I needed a D-level. So I rationalized it like Mtiro was feeling out of touch with his bard roots. He wants to be like a writer, a storyteller, and he feels too locked in one place, maybe listening to other people's stories. So he was coming to the Bard College to try to like get out of his funk, be around other creative types when the story started. And I thought of it almost like if you're swearing an oath to the stories, there's some sort of story god, some sort of story power force out there that it was like that force was carrying him to the most interesting points in the story at any given time, or like just making sure he could see everything so that he could be a storyteller later to like, historize, codify these events, write them down, whatever you want to put it. Which was really fun
to share the whole story,
exactly.
Instead of just
his little section wouldn't be enough for something this epic. So the story decided to guide him to all the places to help reawaken all of his bard powers too. And I did technically cheat, and I did come in level 9 instead of level 8 because we wanted to have the I know.
But is it cheating if it was DM approved?
That's true. I guess
it was DM approved.
I cheated by starting the podcast with you and getting special treatment. So anybody could have done it. So you're right. It really wasn't cheating. I was just one level higher because Mtiro's best thing is bringing things to life. You want to be able to bring things to life. That's what the people want to see. They want Mtiro to show up and bring something to life in the party and start fighting. That's what I think, at least.
It was great. It's like the bard is the perfect class to be able to jump in because you can jump in, give some bardic inspirations, animate something, do something, and then peace out.
Exactly.
That's basically what you did at most tables. Like for my table, you jumped in right as they had they had just entered into the champions realm, because at each guild basically there were some what it eventually was is each guild was working towards summoning a guardian, something that the guild masters, the original guild masters of the city, created guardians to protect the city because they loved the city so much, and those had gone by the wayside, or they'd been told to shut their guardians down when the statues of Waterdeep became a thing, because the statues were, not beholden to one guild. They were more neutral, and so the Lords of Waterdeep created the statues. This is all lore that Becca created, by the way.
Yeah,
I think this part of it is. This is not official 5e stuff. I
kind of figured that there wasn't official. I didn't think that.
I basically posted in our yeah.
I just think it would be funny if the official 5e lore was like, there are guardians, but there's also secret extra guardians underneath,
Yes.
Like that would be so silly.
But that was me like typing in our DM. We had a secret, DM chat of me and Becca and Ryan and Mav. These were the 4 DMs that doing the 4 tables. Where eventually I was like, hey, how are you guys explaining this to everybody? And then Becca had this just, great thought out thing. I was like, oh, that's perfect. And then
yoink.
Yes, exactly.
Mechanically, how it worked, though, I think it's easiest to understand is like every table had like 3 encounters basically that they were doing that were unlocking additional features in the end of this like mech that each table then went into for like the final confrontation, which was like, it was just like a group of table playing one big character in the end, right?
Yes. Yeah. I should go get these little minis behind me. I just want to show them in front of the camera.
Get them and I'll vamp. I can talk. I know how to talk about things. Yeah, so all of the tables, Mav was the Bard College DM, Ryan was the Thieves Guild, Becca was the Emerald Enclave, and Kyle was the Champions Guild. And each of them, of their parties, had like a combat, a little puzzle, things like that they were all working on to get. Each DM, I think, had like cards they were handing out to the players when they completed tasks, or maybe not when they were complete. I don't think Mav gave them when they were completing, but he gave them in the end that we had successfully unlocked like the abilities of the mech before going into the final combat. And Kyle's got, which all ones do you have? Because you didn't make all of them. You made your and
this is the one that was my table. Yeah, I'll start with mine, which was just a giant shield guardian, basically mini that I created. They're all about 10 inches tall, and then I printed off this great sword and hot glued it to the back. And so once they got to the Champions Realm, because that's where their guardian was hidden, this Champions Realm where your glory lives on, that you've achieved in life. And so they had to fight a shield guardian that was a regular sized shield guardian that was like the training bot that's been there that the original guildmaster made and created, and that's what they trained against. They had to turn it to max difficulty and prove themselves to it. And then once they proved themselves, it said you were worthy to enter the Champions Realm, collapsed on the ground, and a rope shot out of its chest, broke through the ceiling, and shot up into the clouds 1,000 feet high. And then they had to climb up the rope 1,000 feet. It
was like a Mario Vine
to climb.
Because that's what I'm picturing. Yeah. Like when you hit that and you climb all the way. Okay, good.
Yeah, and so they climbed up it, got into the. Succeeded a check when a bunch of birds flew into them, and they did not fall when they were 800 feet high. Big flock of birds. But they got into the Champions Realm, and then Kiorum Thundersnout, the original guildmaster, was there. At least the glory that he achieved in life, kind of manifesting his presence, was there, and he showed them the giant guardian that was there, and then they had to. Basically power it up with glory. So they did a contest of champions doing things. That's
when I dropped into your table, was right when they were meeting that past champion and revealing their mech. And then the first challenge they did was a foot race right against that Harangan guy who was pretty fast. Yeah.
Yep. They had here's the fastest, champion that ever lived. And they had to succeed. If they beat him in a race, they got an extra ability card for the champion guardian in the final that would come around in the final battle, and they beat him with a lot of good ability checks and trying to trip him and stuff, and they got it.
I don't think
Then,
I did any. I don't think I did any combat at Mav's table, so I'm not sure what all they fought there. I think maybe they fought some banshees at some point. I know for that table it was like we went into the college. We had to do something to like activate like a long elevator down. I can't remember what exactly we did. And then we all found instruments that we played that Mav had asked us like ahead of time to think of what instrument, if your character could play one, what would they play, you know? And we like summoned a ghost like concert audience to listen to us or whatever, and that helped, of the original harpers that then led us to the
that's cool.
Helped lead to the mech suit. But that's around when I got kicked out to your table. I gave them all, I tried to at every table as I got kicked out, make it like a moment of like, don't worry, we're gonna all get through this together no matter what happens, you know, that's what's important. And then I disappear in that moment for all of them. And then Ryan's table, where the Thieves Guild, they were like breaking into like a bank vault, and then that turned.
Yeah, they
into
had
like
to complete a heist, which was great because I love the differences, right? Like there were 3 tables that were basically like we have a guardian to summon and do, and then the Thieves Guild was like we have to do a heist, which is perfect for thieves, right? But they had to collect. He did it really cool. His mech. His mech ended up being the bank vault itself that they took control of, and they had to find parts of a control panel that it looked like an NES controller, and that he had 3D printed out.
Kind of like an NES controller.
Like,
he had the A and the B buttons in the wrong spot, as I went over in the chat, which is a huge no-no, but that's fine. Basically good enough. No, it was really cool, the thing that he had.
So they had to find like the A button and the B button and the directional pad were like the things that they were finding to unlock abilities for their bank vault mech. And then I'm not sure exactly how it resolved at the end, like them activating it or what that looked like.
No, I'm not sure either, because all I did on their group was fall down, get my ass kicked, hit like one thing, and then leave. So
yeah, they told me that you fell in the middle of combat.
Yeah,
and then like all the guards or whatever just like started walloping on you in the middle.
I landed prone because I was doing a dex check for my landing, just a dex save for myself, and I was like, if I get below 10, he'll fall, and I rolled a 4 or something. So I was like, okay, well, he lands prone. But I was like, I had just rolled initiative at your table before leaving. So I was like, I just rolled an 8 at Kyle's. Can you just slap me into the initiative order with that?
Awesome.
Which put me like last, and then I just got my ass kicked. So it was, he did like over half my health.
What if Tiro had died in this?
I know, that would have been amazing.
What if Tiro had died? Hey, sorry guys.
It would be
Tiro
canon.
died off camera.
Yeah.
This canon, but off.
The next episode of the Talltale Tavern opens with like Hugh and Namby coming back from Tiro's wake. Just really sad, closed bar. Terrible.
I hadn't even thought about like if you had somehow died in one of these adventures.
You should show Mav's mech too, because that one was cool.
Yes, this is great. I actually shouldn't even have this because I wanted to give it to him, but this is the Bard mech, and it is when we were talking about our mechs. I have the ability to 3D print stuff. Ryan does too, and so. I was like, hey, if you find like if there's a file, an STL file, which is the 3D printing file of a mech that you want or something, then I can print it, I can enlarge it and print it. And Mav was like, here's what I'm thinking for the mech. And he said, it's a stage on top. That's where the players are. Yeah. Actually, the players are directing the mech by playing music. I think that's an amazing idea. Yes. It's perfect. And then the rest of the body is musical instruments, pipes and things, and things that's just an amalgamation of like the entire thing is an instrument that like amplifies their sounds. So I was like, oh, cool. I had printed a large size stage relatively recently, so I knew I had the stage file, and then I had a bunch of files of instruments from a different encounter.
Is it from when we fought the music teacher at Arkandel? We fought.
Yes, it's when you fought. Ferris, the bard fight where he animated all the musical instruments that you were fighting. So I in the file thing in the printer software, not even like an editing software. I just enlarged them and kind of stuck things together.
Clipped them,
and
basically. Yeah, that makes
the most basic editing that you could ever do, and created this thing. And I was like, well, I don't know, this probably won't print. I'm gonna have to do it in a bunch of pieces, but I'm just gonna try it. I'm just gonna print it in one go. And this is and it printed in one go. And then I had a lot of fun painting it.
It looks awesome. It was fun for me as in Imtiro's mind to go from like that janky kind of weird looking thing to like landing next to your shield guardian that's like the most badass looking thing on the planet. It's like that's a little bit different than what these guys are going for.
Yeah, and so I was so happy to create it, and I like a reference. I'm not even supposed to have it because I wanted to give this to Mav at the one shot and be like, hey, thank you for being a DM. I've made this with the intention of you taking it home as you know something for you to have at home. I forgot to do it at the one shot, and then I was like, I'll just do it back at the Air D&D, and then I forgot about it until I was unpacking my box at home.
Forgot again. Oopsie. I guess I'll have to keep this.
I was unpacking my stuff and I like grabbed the bag that it was in and felt it. I was like, oh crap. So I texted Mav, we're going to try and get it to him the next time I can. I'm worried about shipping it because seems 3D fragile.
3D printed stuff isn't always, the most strong, durable stuff. So probably best to hand it off in person to him.
Yeah. So that was really fun. And then Becca had a really great really great guardian as well. Yeah. It ended up looking really cool with the different styles where it was like the couple that I printed, which looked actually pretty different because one of them's not painted, one of them is. And one's a silly bard mech, one's the guardian.
One's very intense and one's very goofy, So they didn't. It didn't look like one person made them, necessarily for yours. Yeah.
And then Ryan's, which was, I guess, how do you?
It almost looked like a big
BioShock.
It looked like a Big Daddy from BioShock, kind of, but like I think it was edited a bit so that it was like what would be the dome head for a Big Daddy was kind of like the ceiling of a bank, like a classic Gringotts style glass like ceiling top. I feel like on it. I'm not exactly. I have a picture of it somewhere. I mean, we all do, right? There's really good. If you're listening to this and if you're listening to this and you're in the Talltale Tavern Discord, you can go to the Gen Con general chat. And there's a pinned message in there that has a bunch of really awesome pictures that Tech Mechanic took, one of Ryan's friends, and that has them in there. Just anybody who's listening, you should check them out because the pics are awesome and it was really cool.
Yeah. I think I did post it on our Instagram, a picture of the mechs as well.
Good.
And like the group. So just a couple pictures.
But Becca's was like, oh, sorry, you said.
Oh, I just said I reposted Becca's Instagram post, which was a lot. There was a lot more better pictures in there. So
perfect. But Becca's one, you were saying hers was the only one that wasn't 3D printed, right? She like made hers
She made it out of clay.
Yeah, which was cool.
Yeah,
and I thought that was really cool. Thematically appropriate for like the Emerald Enclave to be the one that's like feels the most natural, organic to the world. Yeah,
that is a great point. Hers looked excellent. It was a tree with I think 4 branches coming off the top that depicted the different seasons, and particularly the snow one looked really great because it had icicles dripping from it that she made with hot glue. That was
and I can't really say anything that the Emerald Enclave people got up to in their table because I dropped in as they were finishing their last puzzle. Which was like a physical puzzle Becca had made for them to like line up pipes to lead water or whatever. But I rolled a nat 1 when landing at their table. So I at least got to let Becca describe me like getting impaled on a loose pipe as I landed and taking like 4 extra damage. So that's good.
Nice.
Yeah. But then they all just got they got absorbed into theirs or something. Like they like fused together into it. Their spirits or something like that because they all just absorbed into it. And then I just was there by myself and I went back to the bards.
One of my players, one of my players at the end was like, how do we get into it? I was like, you just climb up. There's a hatch in the back that you climb up and get into. And he looked at me, Marty looked at me and said, "Oh, so is it the glory hole?" Because it was the glory. We were talking about glory this whole time, charging this. And then the other player's like, "Yep, it's the glory hole." Yeah, I was like, "Yep, you climb in through the glory hole." So that's great.
That's
glory
really
hatch.
Fun. But then Kyle, after everybody completed all their individual things, we came back to that big table with all the suits, right? And then is that when you revealed the full scope of the fight? When you pulled out the big guy?
Had everybody describe how their guardian shows up at the docks of Waterdeep as this thing was coming through. And I really like how this ended up turning out, because I printed this as a separate thing of just the head. Yeah. And then the thing itself is just so much bigger than what you think this is going to be, you know? I'll just bring it up on my lap here. But I mean, this is like the thing that showed up right in front of them.
It's huge.
The tentacles just
it's like the
really
size of
reaching
Kyle's
out far.
torso, basically.
It really is.
Yeah, it's a big boy,
and
it's super.
And
cool.
I painted just the eyes on it, and it actually looks really cool in this light.
Does right now it looks like it's made out of black ink or something instead of the kind of bluish purple that it is. You know?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
It's cool. One of my favorite filament types. I used it I made you a potion bottle for Amper with the same filament.
I've got
type.
it.
It's really
You can't really see it, but it is right there above my finger on this shelf, that very potion bottle you're talking about.
But it's this iridescent purple that really changes purpley blue depending on the light. So yeah, this thing showed up, and then they were basically just set pieces. There weren't actual distances that we did. It was we just
everybody's guardian had three big moves on it, but you had I can remember the bard ones. At least we had an action, a reaction, and a bonus action basically as our normal sheet, and then we had some unlocked abilities that we had gotten as well. So we had basically haste, but super haste, because we're a big mech. So we had, for that, I just remember we had Mike yell out double time for us to haste somebody. That's just the band started playing twice as fast.
Double time.
And we did it on your champions because I thought they had something that gave them advantage, but that was just on the first, on one hit or whatever. I thought that they would be able to keep giving themselves advantage with a weapon property, and they would get an extra advantage attack from a haste, but I was wrong, and I regret it. I shouldn't have given them to your people.
when I was looking at the balance of the whole thing, because the balance of the guardians, and that was a major thing to try and figure out for this, right? We all had our tables to prep for 2.5 hours basically of playing for each table, and then the other thing was we would come back. We started at 9. And then intro, and then do your table stuff, come back at noon, 12 to 1, do the big encounter. So it was we have 24 people. We have a big encounter. Can we do it in an hour? How do we make that happen? Was the big question. Because that was I think that was the first thing when we were talking about what we wanted to do for this. I was I think my main thought was it would be great to have multiple tables, multiple DMs. So people get an actual standard D&D experience, but also it's a shared adventure where we get to do something together at the end. What does that look like? Mm-hmm. So yeah, my champion guardian, their abilities to unlock, they were literally unlocking those, action, bonus action, reaction, and then their final thing that they could unlock, which was supposed to be near impossible, but they did it no problem. Basically, was the action surge ability that they got to action surge and do a whole nother multi attack. So they had a multi attack action. That's the only thing they had initially, and then they unlocked second wind to get some healing back. And then they unlocked a shield ability, which I don't think that they ended up needing to activate because we didn't get to Cthulhu's tentacle attacks. He had tentacle attacks that he could do, and they could have jumped in front of another guardian and kind of halved the damage.
We also had the bards had basically a silvery barbs kind of equivalent on us for a reaction to a hit. But yeah, we didn't get to because I think Cthulhu's only attack was like a save, a big psionic wave save it did at us before.
Yeah.
Because
the second attack,
the amount
was
of damage people
were
putting out, they really fucked this thing up.
Oh,
quick.
it was bad. It was crazy. But there was multiple crits, which was expected. Part of this other thing was how do you do this big? I think it went really well.
I agree.
I think it went really well. But one of the things is how do you keep everybody engaged? Just have everybody roll. So for every attack roll, like we were kind of theming these guardians as. Similar to Pacific Rim, where
I was going to say my one disappointment with the whole encounter is you didn't play the Pacific Rim theme as the mechs were forming and as the big guy came out.
I didn't think anything about music.
I know, I didn't either in the moment, but just like right now, I'm like, man, it would have been sick if we had that Pacific Rim music start blaring when they came out.
Next year, got to think about music.
There we go. We need to up the ante in some way, right? So next year we get a live band. Live DJ.
Yeah. Live band.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Guardians were like Pacific Rim in that everybody was kind of in them doing the moves together to try and get the Guardian to do stuff. So it was very much and being in sync with each other. So initiative, everybody on the 5 people per mech rolled initiative for their mech, and then whoever rolled the highest got that. That's what the initiative was. Mm-hmm. Same thing for attack rolls, which was like, okay, I knew part of the balance is like, okay, we're going to see some crits, which is great. We love crits, right? But when 5 people are rolling an attack, it's 5 dice. And then a couple times it was like they get advantage. So it was like 10 D20s they're rolling as their attack roll.
50% chance of a crit there. It feels like, not.
Yeah. It was so much fun though. And it was like and then damage for like, the different things were everybody rolling a damage dice and adding it together. Yeah. So it was 5d100 was kind of the standard attack for everybody. And we kind of balanced the damage around that. So, and it was like 252.5, I think, is the average for.
You were doing the math in that DM secret planning chat that I was just sort of in, but not part of the planning. There was so much. You really were cranking out some math numbers there toward the last couple days to try to balance those Guardians.
And it was all worth it because we ended at 12:50, 10 minutes before 1:00. It felt like the perfect amount of time where it was like not going on too long at all. And everything that happened was really exciting. It seemed like every group got to do something that was really cool. A ton of damage, like the rogues did the most damage because they got to activate their sneak attack, which was like a teleport behind Cthulhu and like drill into his back. There was just some great things. And then Cthulhu died, and then there was actually an extra thing at the very end. I really liked
the final stand thing at the end. The Destiny keep shooting moment, at it was really fun.
Yeah, it was. We decided to do a final stand, which I had just played a little bit of Destiny, so it was fresh in my mind there, where we were talking about like one of us, I think Mav was like, our mechs should have like an ultimate ability, and I was like, okay, so does everybody get an ultimate ability? Is it something that they have to unlock? Are they just going to use it right away? And then it's like, let's have it be a secret ultimate ability that kind of activated as Cthulhu did this massive thing that was going to do 5,000 damage to everybody, and everybody was going to die. As he was dying and being sucked back to his realm, he decided to stay there and try to do this attack to kill you all because he was, angry that he wasn't able to succeed in his goal. That gave you guys the opportunity to use your ultimates to try and kill him. You had to do more than 5,000 damage with that, and easily surpassed it. You guys had some great rolls. It was like a 50% chance to be able to kill Cthulhu based on the numbers. Yeah, and you guys killed him.
It went really because we had the one group where like multiple people rolled in the 90s, the Thieves Guild, and we had 2, I think, in the 90s of like their damage for the bards as well. So it was just. It was very clear. Every single group did more than their fair share of like the quarter of the damage is how it worked out. So yeah, he really got it. But I love that image too. It's like the most like anime thing to have like the walls of attacks hitting each other, like I can picture the back and forth as he gets like erased by the waves of attacks. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was great. And each DM was able to kind of write what the ultimate looked like. Each table kind of like read what it was that was happening for the champions. It was that it was called each one for each ability for the champion was like they unlocked honor, perseverance. I forget the other ones, but the last one was like the soul of the champion, and it was like they formed like giant golden spectral versions of themselves next to the champion, and then all of them kind of just did their weapon attack that they were used to doing, but like together, and it was 5d100 times 5 each table did. See,
I remember that the bards, all I remember was that it had the word the fundament of the universe or something like that was in there, but it was like channeling all of the music, the harmonies of the universe or whatever into one singular beam of sound or whatever that blasted into him. Mav had a good thing he wrote out, but I can't remember it all. And I just want to shout out, speaking of ability names, because you reminded me, I have to shout out Ryan's the name for the thieves thing, which was the uncanniest dodge, which was really good.
Uncanniest of dodges for their uncanny dodge. Yeah. But the rest of his abilities were great too, because it was all bank themed. It was like I think pyramid scheme was maybe the like ultimate, but the other ones were like deposit and withdrawal. They were like money themed. Yeah, and it was very funny. It was good. It was like it was perfect.
I think it was ultimately the in the initial fight against Cthulhu. I think it was the Emerald Enclave that finally killed him. I can't remember what they had a big sound move too, or like a big blasty move. They did the most damage, maybe.
It was the Emerald Enclave. I don't remember what ability they did to kill it. All I remember was the champions.
Oh yeah, you're right. Continue.
The champions went right before them, and I was looking at how much HP I had left for Cthulhu, and I was like, I knew the average damage they could do, and then they came in 7 HP short. And that's so awesome. I was like Mav was standing next to me. I'm just like, this is just when it like single digits away when they were doing like 250 plus damage each round. and so, which I was really happy about. I didn't necessarily, I wanted like, at least, I was so happy that it was cool. I liked it that it was like down to 7 HP and then another group got to go and they did like 450 or something nuked it, damage. They hit the AC, which was, I remember they did hit the AC of, its AC was 15, but it had shields, so it was effectively 20, and their to hit was a 21 on that hit. So they did hit him. Awesome. But they were close to not hitting him, with the 21.
I think that their ultimate move was like, I remember there being like a big, maybe like a spirit of a dragon or something, because I remember specifically that it let out a deafening roar, because I made a joke that their roar was gonna make it so it doesn't hear our music if it's so loud. It's just a lot of loudness going on.
They had a lot of elemental things happening too. I think it was all the 4 elements kind of surging.
They went full Avatar state on it and just fucked it up.
Yep. And then
speaking of Avatar, Kyle, this is big. We did watch The Legend of Aang, that Airbender movie, with Dottie last night.
Oh, cool.
And let me tell you, that girl was sucked in. She was enthralled by the Avatar action. Awesome. So I'm hoping I can get her through. I can get her into the whole series maybe and burn through.
Yeah,
Avatar.
Well, I've been playing like my Magic the Gathering Avatar deck that I made with Cash, and it's time. I need to rewatch the show with him. I watched him when he was really young with him, and he like watched the rest of the show sort of, but he was too young. Now it's like perfect. Now
we're right at the age where it's like, because Avatar, I think I've heard people say before, compare it to like a generation's like Star Wars, right? It's like a perfect, like you can learn a lot about like basic hero morality and good guys and stuff through it, the way that Star Wars taught like kids of the 70s or whatever. It's like a group of friends that get together to fight like the big evil bad thing and stop the war. And I feel like that's something you can really get into around 8 or 9 years old, you know, the kind of storytelling it has. So
even the resolution of that show, like it's now that I'm like going to show it to my kids, like the
You're
final
so glad that he doesn't
episodes.
murder the Fire Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
When I watched the show, I was like, okay, well, you know, fine.
You were on the side of all the other avatars that were like, you're going to have to kill him.
Yeah. Right. But now that when we get to that, it's like, okay, great little lesson for him. You know, he goes through this thing and everybody's telling him he has to do this bad thing, but he, you know, wants
sometimes
to believe in
you can
himself
find
and what he knows is right, and he does something that is right. So that's cool. Great. What were we talking about? Gen Con.
We were talking about Gen Con. Sorry, Avatar just rules so hard. I had to talk about it for a second.
I know. So good. Cthulhu exploded and the fish guts went all over the city.
Yeah.
And
gross.
The tentacles and M-Tiro came back and at the end of the adventure and wrapped it up in the tavern.
And we didn't give it a name, which Becca pointed out.
We did not.
Yeah, which is a problem.
Which I totally forgot about. I think so did she tell you what she came up with?
I saw it in there, but I can't remember what it was anymore.
Well, I was like, oh, I forgot to have a name. Well, M-Tiro's a storyteller, so he's got to come up with a name. And then she said live, laugh, Lovecraftian, I think. Live, laugh, Lovecraft. And I was just like, that's fine.
That's pretty good.
So
it's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Waterdeep.
Legend of the Guardians, the Guilds of Waterdeep.
There we go. There's our title. We'll call it that. But the real ones will know. It's a Owls of Ga'Hoole reference, of course.
Yeah. Of Ga'Hoole. So that was our big one shot. If you're wondering when this happened at Gen Con, what we did was we went to an open play area in JW Marriott in the morning, and they have this big open play room that's like open 24/7 for the whole weekend. And so we claimed a spot early in the morning in that area and on a Friday and did it from 9 to 1. And,
do you feel you needed to get there as early as you did?
Yes. Well, like for us starting or for me
for your preparing,
before?
I guess. Yeah. Because you didn't need... we didn't need it to get a table at least. So I wasn't sure if you were getting there really early because you were like, I bet I got to get a table because it wasn't crowded or anything.
I needed to get set up and I had Cthulhu and
that's true. You didn't want anybody to see
him.
Yeah.
And also he broke when I was there. His tentacles fell off, which I suspected would happen. I suspected it was a strong possibility that it wouldn't make the drive. And so I had my hot glue gun there. So I plugged that in and
never leaves home without his hot glue
on.
gun. He keeps it in a little holster on his hip while he's walking around the store, basically.
Exactly. But I don't know if the other DMs, they didn't need that much time, but I did because I had to set all that stuff up and get all my things out and ready. And
I was surprised how much stuff you had because I knew a lot. I thought there'd be all theater of the mind basically for it, but you had, even at your table, you had like a map set up with like little...
I can't resist. I can't resist printing stuff off. So I knew I had the grid. I knew I was going to bring the grid map because I wanted that to be on the main table. I wanted something to be underneath him on the main table instead of just having it be set out on like whatever tablecloth was there. So I brought it for my group, and then we did use a grid map for the last encounter that they had, and they were in this like the Champions Realm was basically like this Grecian looking like old Greek Olympics type vibe with the columns and so I was like, I could print off that terrain real easy. So I printed off that terrain real quick before leaving and put it in a bag. Sometimes I can't help myself. I got to print more stuff.
Can't help himself.
And then Kiorum Thundersnout, the Guildmaster. I actually made I found a little cool Loxodon 3D prints and printed him off and painted him, and that was just fun to do. So So yeah, I added some stuff like that. Each table had a little bit of that, but yeah, it was mostly theater of the mind. I just end up bringing more things as I keep thinking about cool things to add. So
that's fair.
But yeah, that was the big, Talltale Tavern event there. But Gen Con as a whole was a blast.
Yes.
I think we, in our pre-show, which the pre-show is a bonus episode, so that's, not available to everyone, but we talked about our main things we were looking forward to was having time to play games with friends and meet up with people. And I think that we did
easily succeeded at that that goal.
Easily succeeded.
Yeah.
Easily hit the DC on that challenge. That was dumb.
That was great. No, it was good, Kyle. We loved it. People love the D&D jokes. Yeah, we did. I think it was great all around the whole time. The Odyssey showing went great when we got there like right away and had to go to that. And it rocked. Right away, getting to see Dan, we went with Kitty too. Lots of friends who were there. And then Friday was the first day we went to the con proper, right? We didn't have anything specific that day planned. Did we?
Thursday, yeah. The only thing I had a couple like learn to play events or something. Yeah, a couple learn to play events on Thursday, but my main goal on Thursday was just walk the convention floor.
Oh, that's right. It was 13th. You're right. I got a whole day off. Thursday was the first day we were there. I thought Thursday was the day we went to see the Odyssey, but it was Wednesday night. And then, okay.
It was Wednesday night at 10:15 p.m.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
When that movie started.
Yes, of course.
We got out at 11:15. But totally worked it with the 70 millimeter screen they have in Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah.
And then, the Thursday was basically, I just knew like Thursday's just the day that you really want to walk around that convention hall. You're there. It's all fresh and new. There's so many vendors. If you like being in a room filled with, shoulder to shoulder with people, like just walking through, looking at board game stuff that you can buy, then this convention hall is like heaven for that.
It is. I think we started off a little
really
bit
tight with people,
a little bit faulty in that we had too many people in our group that we were trying to stick together with in that convention hall at first. I think it is. You do, unfortunately, once you enter that room, you can maybe stick with 1 to 2 people maximum because it's so crowded. You're not going to be able to look at anything if you're stopping like for other people. Constantly.
And because like what will interest one person is not going to interest the other two. And then so it's like this whole like, do we stay together? Oh, I see that. I really want to go to that. I'm going to go walk to that. And then like, unless you call them on the phone, you're not going to see them back. No. Like there's no like
there's no chance you're just going to bump into somebody like in that room. It feels like, like if I'm like, oh, Kyle's in there, I'll just go in and hope I find him. That's not going to fucking happen in a million years.
It's not going to happen. But Thursday is the best day to at least get in there because it's the least crowded day. But you're right. We did have too big of a group, but also that's when you're like seeing people you haven't seen yet. And so it's like you want to see them. So
it is both the best shop day to get in there, but also kind of a bad day because you're also like you're too globbed onto each other because you're excited to see each other. Yeah. Our best shopping day, I feel like ended up being maybe Saturday. Yeah,
the last day we were there was kind of the best day because that was the day where I was really looking for things for my kids.
Yeah.
Was Saturday. The first couple days were like, I had some things on my list I wanted to try and check out and get.
We all needed dice because I don't think anybody came with dice. It felt like in our whole Airbnb, it was like everyone's here to play a big one shot. Nobody has dice at all. It's really funny to me.
But that was intentional on my part because then it's like, oh, I don't have dice. I gotta buy dice.
Exactly. Me too.
And I bought some Cthulhu dice. Ooh. I bought this like pack of Cthulhu dice.
I saw the Cthulhu dice. Other than when you were
they just got Cthulhu symbols on them. They're fairly simple. It was after I asked Becca, because last year Becca and I DM'd the one shot together with the Tarrasque.
Yeah.
And I bought dice there that were like sort of themed, and then she like surprised me with dice that she bought for me. And so this time I was like, hey, just like I just like, I don't know if you're doing the same thing, if you're buying me dice or not, because I didn't bring dice. And she was like, oh no, like she's like, I didn't. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went out and bought Cthulhu dice, and then she came back later that day and she was like, I found the perfect dice. I bought everybody. She ended up gifting dice to the DMs that were like perfect. Yeah, it was hilarious. And
I got some dice with Becca.
So I ended up with those too.
I got some. Becca and I, when we were walking around, we did like a machine where you could put a coin in and it gave you a set of dice, basically. It was like $10 for a coin or $40 for 5 of them. And there was special dice in there that were like, most of them were like this is one I got, just like classic Chessex-y plastic set, but they also had a couple like better ones, and we did hit a grand prize when I got this pocket watch that opens up and there's little tiny metal dice inside of it that are definitely going to get lost in this house within the week.
Yeah.
But, because Dottie has already taken to using this to try to hypnotize me and Celia into doing things. She'll grab this and shake it around, but I know she's going to spill them everywhere, and those are gone, dude.
Yep.
Those are gone. And then I got a new set of dice for Imtira that were just sort of some basic red and smoky ones that first day. And that's really all I got on Thursday, I feel like.
I went crazy last year and bought a bunch of dice last year. And this year I really had a couple sets in mind that I didn't end up finding. I wanted some like ones that were like lightning, looked like lightning, and ones that looked more like radiant damage. And I
was surprised we didn't really find any, because I didn't see anything either when we were together that looked lightning-y to me, or like, I think of radiant as like golden glow. Something like that, like even like golden glitter in some dice maybe would have been radiant. I don't know. And
I have a set that is that. So I just need to probably just start taking that with, because it's for Groggy. It's the one that for Ryan that he DMs. I should just start taking those dice with me, because they are my favorite set of dice. The golden like spec dice that are liquid core. They're so I should just take them.
You should. It sounds like they're your favorite.
Yeah.
So you should probably use them.
They're my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But they're always set up at my Arkandel table out there on their little stand. And so I'd have to pack them up in their stand and put them in a bag. They're not going to shine and gleam.
Couldn't defile. Well, you could make them some sort of carrying case instead of a bag.
You're right. I could 3D print.
You could 3D print something, Kyle. And I know that always excites you. So an excuse to do that. Was there anything else on Thursday, though, that we did? I really can't remember. I think that was just the day we just came back and played games that night, right?
Yeah, that was a blast. Yes. Came back to the D&D, played a bunch of games. That was number one on both of our lists of things we wanted to do, and we got her done.
Is that when we had people over, like a bunch of people over? I mean, we didn't. Yeah. If anybody who's in charge of the Airbnb is listening, we didn't, because that would violate the terms of the agreement. But
despite their ring camera evidence that they have,
it's fine. Every listen, half the people who came were like Hoosier guys, and we all look the same, right? All the who's going to tell the difference between Revealing and Dan and me and you? They're just seeing generic white Indiana guys.
We're all Indiana guys.
Yeah. But that was a lot of fun. We had a lot of people. We kind of split into two groups of gamers because it was too many almost. To all be around one table. But I had a lot of fun in the group I played. I got to try some new games, Rings and Things I hadn't played before, and which I really liked.
It's a fun one.
And Landy bought like a stacking game because we all really liked the dexterity game we got last year, the Buffet Boss one. So we had like a sort of a competitive stacking one that was pretty fun as well. I think
that was a hit.
Yeah.
You guys, there was a lot of rounds of that played, like far more than Buffet Boss the year before. So this was, there were lots of rounds of the stacking.
It was just quick. It was very quick to get it going. I'll have to buy a copy. Darn. All right, I'll buy it so we can play. I should have anyway, because I think Dottie would like it. She loves Jenga, and it was sort of Jenga adjacent. But yeah, just a fun night of gaming. Then Friday was the one shot, and then Friday
we played.
night.
I just want to shout out Flip 7.
Flip 7 rocks.
I wanted to shout out Flip 7. That's a game that I love to play, love to teach. That's the one that Becca's brother Pete taught us last year, and we had a blast with. And so I had a copy that I've played with groups before. just if you're looking for a game that is just the easiest game to get started with a group of people, that everybody understands it immediately, and
they'll get really invested in it immediately too. Like it is. Yeah.
It's a push your luck game, and it's so fun.
I agree. I only got to play one round of that a different night, but I was very happy to get to play it again. I need to just buy a copy of that game because I really like it too. Yeah.
I've bought a few copies at this point because I've left it a few places on accident, and so it's like $9.
All right, I just like know. I guess
or $11 game.
What I'm hearing is Kyle's willing to just assume he's left it somewhere and buy another copy.
So just take mine.
Friday night we did the bar crawl. Fast forwarding a bit, and the bar crawl was awesome. Thank you to Dan. Dan always does a good job putting together our bar crawl. I
love those that bar crawl because it's a lot of places that I went to during med school. And the times where we, like after an exam, we would go out. And so they're bars that I was familiar with when I lived in Indianapolis. And it's a great time. I love the bar crawl. It's so fun.
Yes. Anything else that was really major though, Kyle, that we did? Saturday was more shopping. We did the D&D Tower thing, the carnival.
Yeah, the carnival.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wizards of the Coast was there and had a big presence at Gen Con this year. They had the Indiana Repertory. Yep.
Preparatory.
Preparatory. That's what I kept calling it because I didn't know. But it's like a multi-level building, and they had a bunch of like
they both had a big presence and they didn't because it's not like I would have known that existed if it weren't for Becca or you like looking up, the events or knowing that it was there, because it was a whole other building and it was kind of a little bit out of the way, and even getting to it was
you also couldn't just like
weird.
walk through it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, walk into the building, go to your floor with the thing. It wasn't like a convention feeling. It was like if you had an event, you had a specific door you had to go through, which was kind of a weird part of it. Like to get to the carnival, we had to go through the parking garage.
Yeah. Celia did tell me she was picturing like that bad Willy Wonka pop-up that went viral. Do you remember that? It was kind of, I was worried about those vibes at the beginning because it was like we got there and she was like, entrances around the side. And I'm like, okay. And it's like no real signs of any sort. We go up to the 7th floor of a parking garage and wait in the stale hot air for like 20 minutes to get TSA scanned through the door. Mm-hmm. But then it was nice in there, at least once we got through all that crap. And it was just like a fun carnival, like a school carnival vibe almost, just mini games to play and get. You and I, we all got a class with a passport on it, and you and I were rangers, but we unlocked the true secret code.
We were the true secret code.
Of course,
the rogues. We were the rogues because I went to throw something away and saw a couple passports in there with some stickers on it from the previous group. Yeah. So I just succeeded on an investigation check and pulled those out, and then eventually you figured out
an embarrassingly long amount of time for us to figure out how to use those because every passport had like a smile drawn on it that was like, this one's done. And so we were like, maybe we can hide the smile. Maybe we're both like trying to rub it off of the thing. Yeah. And then finally, after we had already gotten 2 stickers for our own passports, I was like trying to readjust one of them to cover the smiley face. And then I was like, oh, wait, I can just take it off of this one and put it on the new one.
Which was important that you had to actually try to take the sticker off, because I didn't think that they could come off.
You would think it would be hard.
They
could. You're right. But it was sad to me that I didn't think that it wasn't that my thought to take one off wasn't to then put it on. It was take one off and move it on the one that it's already on and see if that works first. You fucking idiot.
But it was really cool. It was a free event, and they gave a lot of stuff away. Like if you filled up your whole thing, then you had a +1 to a roll, which neither of us didn't end up mattering. We didn't roll well enough. But we got boxes of minis, And it was the carnival itself was really cool. The theater it's in, the theater has this like cityscape almost built. I don't think cityscape's the right word. Like buildings.
It feels like you're in a little village
around the edge,
like a little villa or something. I don't know what you call it. Yeah. But
like the streets of Venice.
Exactly. It's like you're in an outdoor walking mall and there's restaurants around you or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And then they had like grass on the ground and these big tents and some really cool, things like a beholder in a cage, and like it was
pretty cool Cyclops looking machine. And there were a couple costume characters. Like, I think that the fairy I saw and the tiefling I saw that had really good, I don't think they were just like convention cosplayers. I think they were like part of the event that we're talking to people specifically.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they were part of it.
Yeah.
They were. It was cool. And
for free thing, especially, I thought there was pinball because you and me dipped out on doing the games after, but we were pretty tired because all of this is the third day of like, well, I got about 3 hours of sleep last night. Let's rally. Yeah. Walk around for another 12 hours today. All right.
Yep. It was exhausting. Yes. We were tired.
Oh, Pete.
Wizards of the Coast, this whole thing was not something they've done before. Like they usually have like a booth or something in the main vendor hall and then like an area in Lucas Oil, but it's really like they just don't have a big presence there. But this year they did, and they had a lot of stuff planned, and then they announced some really big things, which ultimately weren't as like impactful, I feel like, for me, because I'm a relatively new player to D&D, as in like in the last 5 years. But their big announcements are like, we're bringing back a whole source book that's for Dark Sun and one that's for Greyhawk, and I think like Luke Gygax is going to be in charge of it, and so they're basically like giving some of these settings, a rerun of the setting and letting the people who are passionate about it, I think, be in charge of those settings, which is like, so it seemed like they're relinquishing some control, like for like official source books.
I could be way off on this, but I think Dark Sun is maybe the inspiration for Natalie's Gladiator character's planet. That was like the hive on the planet that was with the dying sun. I feel like I've heard Dark Sun before, and I feel like it was talking to Natalie about her character, her planet. So that's cool that it's back then. I remember reading up on it a little bit at that time, thinking it sounded cool. So they also
announced some Universes Beyond stuff, which is what I'm potentially more interested in. A Star Wars source book is something that will be coming. Universes Beyond is something that, at least I know from the Magic the Gathering side of things, has made Wizards of the Coast a lot of money this year with the Marvel one, and so I think they're going forward with that momentum
into
D&D, which
interesting.
Which is interesting. I think it's interesting. I don't have,
I don't think I think that's good in a way. I mean, it's as long as they're allowing people to do original things still, like you're saying, Dark Sun and these other books are coming out. I don't think it impacts me because I ignore so much. Any source book I don't own, what do I care if it exists, right? Like, as long as it isn't bleeding in to the foundational, to the core rule book or anything, tack on whatever Elseworld bullshit you want to the system. I don't care. Because D&D is something that doesn't make a ton of money after those first three books. Historically, we've talked about this before, watched a video on it before, something where it's like everybody buys those first three and then each expansion after gets less and less and less sales. So D&D isn't like a really profitable endeavor in the way the Magic cards are. So if they can find a way to sell more books without needing to revise the rules, that means I don't have to buy as many revised rule books. So that's fine with me too.
Yeah, I'm all for the company finding ways to make money that's not like, here's your subscription service that you have to pay for, which I do pay for it on D&D Beyond. But there's a lot of like things that were like very obviously like predatory on just like getting people to spend money, and like they took away features at one point. Like Wizards of the Coast they were not in a great
they were making a lot of unpopular decisions for a bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so this seems like it's great. You want to make more money by creating a cool new source book? Absolutely. Because I basically buy most of the new stuff as it comes out because we have a podcast and I'm able to share that content with other people who come on and want to play a certain.
It's a business
subclass.
expense.
So it's like
he writes it off.
It is. I wish we had that set up, but I could write it off. Good. I really could if this is a real business.
If it was a real business and you were filing it on your taxes as a money making endeavor, which I don't think they'd believe us, Kyle. It was a money making endeavor.
Yeah. That was Saturday.
Sunday we had to pack up and leave,
left.
right? We got breakfast and that Saturday
night.
I had
fancy dinner on Sunday.
Games.
Saturday night.
Oh yeah, you had fancy dinner. I didn't do that. I stayed at the Airbnb.
Oh yeah, we got dressed up. I wore my green suit. Carrie, my wife, came down.
Oh yeah,
and joined us for that. That was fun. The group of us went out to a speakeasy type, kind of steakhouse type place, and it was a lot of fun. Had some great drinks, great company, great food.
Hell yeah.
Love to dress up and go drink some $18 cocktails.
But they were good. They were good. You said it.
They were good. The espresso martini was not that great.
Well, you're a man who makes his own espresso martini, right? So you're going to have an opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem with espresso martinis, which most of the time espresso martinis are good. This was the first time I've ever ordered one out, and I was like, oh, this isn't that good. But the other drinks I had were great, specifically the drink that had bubblegum foam on it, and underneath it was mezcal and passion fruit and Aperol. I was like, this drink sounds horrendous. I was so curious. I had to get it.
Yeah, of course.
And then I took one sip, and
when something sounds that really bad, good. You're like, it must be good then, because how else does it sustain
if it's on
a place
this
on the menu?
Yeah, I asked the server. She was like, "Oh, you're gonna love it. It's amazing." And she was like, when I was like, I'm kind of thinking about this. I'm kind of curious about this bubblegum drink. She was like, "Yep, it's amazing. You'll love it." Moving on. She like didn't even give me a chance to like not order it, and then it came out, and we like passed around the table, and everyone pretty much said, "Yeah, that's pretty darn good." So
that's awesome. You had that great fancy dinner. That was the night that we stayed back and we played games. We went to a restaurant before that, though, just four of us who were planning on staying back and playing games at the Airbnb. And we had like the worst dinner possible, where it was like one of our people had stickers in her chicken salad that was like on the chicken. And then another person's food took like 45 minutes longer to come out than everyone else's, even though it was just a salad. Like, I don't understand what happened. And his meal came out at the same time as the dessert. I think that they comped for us. Like, it was bad, the amount of time it took. But otherwise, my Saturday night was great. We played more games. We played a new one that Landy bought. Landy, I think, was doing it right, where he was just like, anytime he was in the conference hall, if we were going to be playing games that night, he's like, I'm just looking for one game we can play when we get back. You know,
I like that strategy. I think that's pretty good.
I think that's fun. So we tried out a few games in the hall, and then ended up getting one that was like a drawing based game that I won at almost. No, I tied with Sarah, and then she won because I forfeited points in a different round. Either way, but I won all the other games that we played while you guys were gone, and I just want that on the record that's what happened.
Great. Awesome. Any other purchases you made? I bought a couple games that I'm excited to check out.
We
bought
both
some Magic.
We both
gear.
bought one game. We both bought that rocket launch game.
Yes,
that's
the rocket launch game.
It's just sort of like Dutch Blitz, but with the rockets that you step on and shoot basically combined together, right? You know, you catch it.
Mm-hmm. It's got like foam rockets on the top. I've seen it's like a small version there's like a yard version that like it goes like 50 feet in the air.
Exactly.
This is like a small version for a house, and amazing. My 3-year-old broke one of the rockets within a minute.
Awesome.
I think. I mean, he was like trying to jam it on there, and like it like ripped, and
right
he came
through.
up and he was like, I broke it. And I taped it up and it worked okay. So,
and then you locked him in his room and punished him for, breaking it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. But the kids love that game. They've I
haven't gotten a chance to play it yet here to set it up. But I definitely want to. I probably will. Maybe I'll try tomorrow with Dottie because I'll have time with her tomorrow during the day for it. That'll be good. And then we both got we both got plushes for our kids, and that's it for me. That's all I bought.
I did stumble across this free, the new Hobbit set is coming out for Magic the Gathering, and we walked by on Thursday this place that was handing out these sort of free welcome decks of the Hobbits, a 40 card deck of cards, and it was like, it's cards, there's a few of them that I was like actually hoping to get from this set, so it's like, it was like really cool to just walk by and they were handing out this free thing. Yeah. So it was that was really cool. Got a promo card of one of the cards from the set, which is Tom, Bert, and William, the three trolls that they're sitting around the campfire, and
the ones that Bilbo like talks until they turn to stone.
They have to keep them. Yeah. He has to keep them talking until they turn to stone. No, so great, so iconic. Yeah. And then, one of the free play events I did on Thursday with Mav, we went to the Chrono Core. If you are a TCG player and looking for something that is mech based, Chrono Core is by a group of guys in Fort Wayne, and it is. This was kind of their big year where all their Kickstarter had been fully like mailed out to people. But I did a learn to play and got a full like pack of cards from them, and we learned how to play this.
How was it?
TCG,
I never got to ask you how that went.
It was very fun. It was very fun. The combat I thought was very cool, because like in Magic, it's like it's about building stuff and kind of like getting your deck to do things, and then like the attacking defending phase, there's a little bit of back and forth, but it's not so much like involved. With the mech thing, it was like, you deplete your charge, I'm gonna attack you with this weapon. They can have a secret card that they reveal that's like a shield or a counter attack, or they can take the damage. And then once you deplete their shield, then you like flip the mech over where they become overdrive. So if you deplete their shield, you better be able to follow through and get their health down, or else they're just going to regenerate their shield. And it was pretty cool, pretty interesting.
Cool.
So I liked it. So you should check it out.
I might.
Listener,
I did get a free, I also forgot I got a free game. First I got handed a free deck of cards for this like red or yellow, this or that game. And then I was going to go to the convention and buy it because we had a lot of fun just flipping through that deck at the Airbnb while drunk whatever night.
Yeah.
And then, but then we after the D&D event, we went to like Starbucks in a completely different building, and there just happened to be a table of that game, full copies of it. That was like, please take one. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, which is weird. I don't know why that happened.
I don't either.
Why are they giving this game away?
Maybe there was like an event and they had extra ones left over or something that was in that room, but it works out for me. Didn't have to buy it. I would have. They lost their money. Sorry.
We already cracked that open around the dinner table, and we're flipping them around and asking the kids what they, we were guessing, what each kid was,
would answer.
Adult was going to answer, and it was good. It was okay. We could only go through like a couple of them because it took forever with the three kids to go through each one, but it was a fun discussion starter. Fun little dinner table thing to do with the kids.
Just a fun little,
pretty cool,
kind of frivolous game. There's a million games that are like, here's a card and start a conversation, or it's funny in some way. It's one of those kinds of games.
Yeah.
Boom.
But I think that's Gen Con.
That's Gen Con, baby.
I think that was overall already excited about next year. After the one shot, people were already talking about what are you going to do next year, and like coming to me with ideas about like, oh, this would be really cool for next year, which is really fun, which is a really cool thing to be able to put on an event like that where you hope is going to be a really fun event, and then it ends up that it worked pretty much perfectly. And I was really happy about that. So
I'm excited. I think that's good. Cool. That's a fun annual tradition for us, at least for one more year. Because how can you top it at a certain point? at a certain point, it's got to maybe scale back down.
I think it's never even about topping. People are like, oh, how are you going to top it? And I never really think about topping things. It's always just how do I do it different.
Fair enough.
I'm always,
I agree with that.
I think my mind is always thinking
when you're making a sequel.
Yeah, I've got so many. It's like there's so many interesting things you can do with D&D and groups and things, and it's like what sounds really fun to do, and also how can I include a lot of people in that, and what does that look like logistically? Yeah, and so
I'm worried what's going to happen is in 10 years we're going to be running like our own fully ticketed event with like 1,000 people playing or something. No,
it's gonna be crazy. That'd be wild.
That would be.
The problem with having a ticketed event though is you have to be in line, you have to get tickets for it, and if it's something like all the people we want to be involved,
we'll do digital.
Well,
because they have digital ones too, don't they?
Well, it's with Gen Con, if it's
Kyle,
like
it's 10 years from now. You don't think they'll have fucking QR codes by then? For us?
Well, no, it's like, but to get tickets to events, you have to get in line on the moment. And this year I tried to get in line in the moment, and I was 17,000th in line.
Right.
And
well, that's why this is some fantasy world where 10 years from now, there's a huge demand to be in our ever-growing one-shot thing. Yes. It's all right.
Just we won't be part of Gen Con. It'll be at a different location.
That I'm worried we're going to end up with like our own convention that births out of this eventually. Like our Airbnb is going to get too big to sustain the amount of people that are coming, and we're going to have to start our own thing somehow.
Talltale Tavern Con.
Yeah, exactly.
Tavern Con, TTT Con.
All right,
cool.
That's it for this episode, folks, of our Patreon of the Talltale Tavern Triple Threat, the 20 talk show, whatever the fuck it's normally
Time
called.
is up.
And time is up.
No longer.
There it is.
No longer talk about this topic.
We're got to be done. Sorry. If you're listening to this and you're not subscribed to the Patreon, you should check it out. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool over there. Don't like to brag. You can get more episodes like this, but with actually questions in them. And then you can get some extra bonus episodes if you sign up for the VIP or the bottle service tier. If you listen to this, keep your eyes on the feed. Dokimon's going to be coming soon. I started editing it today, and I
could not do anything today. So
perfect.
Congrats to you for actually getting something going. Goodness.
I started working on that, and I started trying to come up with. I know we need to write for our next thing, and let me tell you, Kyle, I spent like 3 hours with the worst writer's block just sitting there, just staring, trying to come up with anything.
I can't believe you tried.
I know.
I had nothing. I had today off from work because I knew I would need a whole day to, do nothing. So there's been no creative juices flowing today, and it feels nice.
I think that's. I did like nothing when I got back yesterday, so I felt like I needed to try to do something today, especially since I think I felt extra guilty because we're late with this Patreon episode, so I was like, well, I have to make some sort of progress towards something. But I think Dokimon's going to edit real fast, like I thought. I got through like 30 minutes, probably twice as fast as I normally would while listening to an episode.
Awesome.
So expect that very soon, folks. And other than that, I think just continue being great. And thank you for listening. And that's the end of this episode.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.